Every gilded cage is built with walls of comfort. The only question is what you're paying for them.
All right, let's cut through the noise and expose this million-dollar slavery concept for what it really is, a sophisticated system of control that ensnares even the biggest names. Forget the illusion that immense wealth or influence buys you ultimate freedom. The truth is often it just buys you a prettier cage, complete with golden handcuffs, non-compete clauses, and even chilling conservatorships. This isn't about literal chattel slavery. Let's be clear on that. The historical horror of that institution is distinct. This is about a modern paradox where financial and intellectual freedom become elusive. Even for those at the very top, their autonomy silently chipped away by the very systems that made them rich. The prevailing narrative pushes this lie. Get rich and you're free. But this is a masterclass in misdirection. Immense wealth, those millions, often functions not as a liberator, but as a sophisticated tool of control, a velvet cage, where comfort itself becomes an anesthetic, dulling your senses to the underlying constraints. This isn't just some abstract philosophical musing, it's engineered. The mechanisms of this modern bondage have simply evolved. Forget physical chains, now it's about psychological contracts, meticulously managed public images, and narrowly defined roles that replace overt force. Golden handcuffs. This is exactly what it sounds like. We're talking about substantial bonuses, stock options with long vesting periods, generous retirement plans, and other perks explicitly designed to make it financially excruciating for you to walk away. People get accustomed to the lifestyle creep that comes with a big salary, making that high income feel not just desirable but absolutely necessary to maintain their existence, thereby tightening the cuffs even further. Non-compete clauses. This ain't just about protecting trade secrets anymore. These clauses are designed to box you in, restricting your ability to work for rival firms or start your own damn business for a set period after you leave. Conservatorships. This is where the gilded cage turns into a literal prison, albeit one with a very fancy address. Ostensibly for protection, these legal arrangements can strip individuals of fundamental control over their finances, careers, and even personal lives. Kanye West, or Ye, is a quintessential modern piper, a globally recognized cultural force in music and fashion. He's consistently challenged the music industry's contract structures, famously decrying them as modern-day slavery, and even tweeting out pages of his contracts. His erratic behavior and controversial statements led to severe consequences. Adidas terminated its lucrative Yeezy partnership, his talent agency dropped him, and he got suspended from social media platforms. Dave Chappelle is the poster child for someone who chose genuine freedom over the gilded cage. In 2005, at the absolute peak of his fame, he famously walked away from a reported $50 million contract. He literally fled to South Africa to escape the industry madness, comparing the lure of massive money to a salt trap used to capture baboons, easy to grab, but impossible to escape once you hold it. Colin Kaepernick's story is a stark example of political obedience being demanded even from a high-earning athlete. In 2016, this NFL quarterback began kneeling during the national anthem to protest police brutality and racial injustice. After opting out of his contract, he remained unsigned by any NFL team, effectively exiled from the league despite his playing abilities. His case highlights the expectation that athletes should shut up and dribble. Edward Snowden isn't a celebrity in the traditional sense, but his story perfectly illustrates the cost of challenging state control from within. He sacrificed everything. He became a fugitive, charged under the Espionage Act, and now lives in exile in Russia. Julian Assange faced years of legal battles, spent 7 years in asylum at the Ecuadorian embassy in London, and then 5 years imprisoned in the UK fighting extradition to the US. His story screams, reveal the truth and the system will try to bury you. Britney Spears' case is a chilling literal manifestation of million-dollar slavery, a conservatorship that became a gilded cage. Despite being a pop superstar earning millions, she was placed under a court-ordered conservatorship in 2008. For over 13 years, she had virtually no control over her finances, career decisions, or personal life. She had the millions, but zero personal freedom. Her body, her career, her very life was commodified and controlled. This is the ultimate betrayal of the money buys freedom myth. The Stoics argued that true freedom is internal, a mastery of your mind, independent of external circumstances. For a million-dollar slave, The real chains are their attachment to the rewards and their fear of losing them. From a Marxist perspective, these highly paid individuals are still alienated. Their massive salaries are just the price for their labor power, a commodity sold to an employer. The wealth just obscures this fundamental estrangement. This isn't just theory, it's a grind. The pursuit and maintenance of fame and wealth can paradoxically erode inner peace, autonomy, and authenticity. Studies show higher rates of anxiety, depression, and substance abuse among the affluent. Celebrities constantly grapple with loss of privacy, intense scrutiny, and the pressure to maintain a perfect public image, leading to persona entrapment and profound self-alienation. Many report experiencing imposter syndrome. The media isn't a neutral observer, it's an accomplice. It glamorizes these restrictive lifestyles, celebrating extreme wealth and fame while downplaying the costs. Media are not neutral conduits of information but powerful ideological institutions deeply embedded within the political economy. They shape public perception and manufacture consent for the status quo. These aren't isolated incidents, they're patterns. The experiences of these public figures lay bare the dirty truth. Financial and intellectual freedom are often elusive, even at the pinnacle of success. Million-dollar slavery is a structural reality. It's a spectrum of unfreedom, where power structures leverage an individual's perceived value against their personal liberty. True freedom isn't a byproduct of wealth. It's a condition that must be actively sought and fought for, often requiring a willingness to step outside the comfortable, well-rewarded paths and challenge the system's terms. The price of the prize, it turns out, is often your very autonomy.